I realise this looks strange, but we do get quite a lot of questions about latex. We have our own latex range, which is custom made, made to measure, and quite elaborate. And then we also have Bettie Page's latex range, which is way more accessibly priced because it's made in bulk, and it's more simple designs. So for example, the couture range has hand painted motifs on it, whereas this obviously has no ornamentation. It's very relatively plain and simple. That said, there is a cheaper way to get latex, which is moulded latex. Having tried it, I can tell you that moulded latex has a bit of a tendency to give way at inopportune moments, and that is how I once ended up in a fur coat and not a lot else in a shopping centre. I don't know what possessed me to wear a latex skirt that day. Muppetry on my part. Anyway, so latex is not something that a lot of you have seen, and that means that a lot of you are not sure about how to wear it or what the deal is or any of that kind of stuff, so I thought I would just show you. So when you get your latex garments, it will come in a plastic bag and it will be matte. And the reason for that is that you need to store it away from the sunlight, and you need to keep it in talcum powder just to stop it from sticking to itself or getting damaged. Generally it's best to keep it in like a box or a thick plastic bag. We don't usually put it onto hangers, and you need to keep it away from most of the things that would be fine for normal fabrics but are terrible for latex. The good news is latex tends to look great. It's a kind of natural shapewear fabric. In fact, it used to be used, I say fabric, it's really more of a textile than a fabric. It used to be used for shapewear, but it fell out of fashion. It does degrade fast. It's very biodegradable. Sunlight affects it, sweat affects it, metal affects it, oil affects it. Like, basically, don't expect your latex pieces to last as long as everything else in your wardrobe. That said, people get quite scared of like, how do I look after it? What do I have to do? But honestly, as long as you could avoid coming home really drunk and then doing something stupid, which I realise can be difficult, although at the moment it should be fine, your latex can last a fair amount of time. So, I'm going to show you with a really simple piece from the Bettie Page range, which is a black pencil skirt. This is an extra large size UK 16, and I do normally wear an XL. I have to say on this occasion, I think perhaps I could have gone a size down. Mostly because I could actually get in and out of this, and I'm used to latex being so tight that I need help or a zip. This has neither, and it's fine. So I'm going to show you. Firstly, it does make this weird noise. That's just what rubber sounds like. Sorry. Also, for years I couldn't stop myself from thinking of dinghies every time I wore it, but again, that's a property of the fabric, the textile. It has that rubbery smell. So when this arrived, it had already been talked and was matte. You do need talc or something to make it slip against the skin when you put it on, otherwise it will get stuck, and speaking from experience, that will be awkward. You can get into and out of it without too much trouble if you put it on over something else. So I did think about putting it on over some leggings, for example, because they're like shiny lycra stuff you can wriggle it on and off over. In the end, I've gone for woolly opaque tights, which is absolutely not a fashion decision. It's just a decision about what makes sense on camera. So yeah, I couldn't show you what I would do normally because it would potentially be obscene. So I'm putting on latex over woolly tights, but I mean, what can you do, really? Welcome to the internet. It's a strange place. So you can see that it's actually not that bad to get in and out of. Like I say, this could be tighter. This is on the website showing sitting at the natural waist. I have to say I've pulled it up just because for me, I might wear it like this if I was wearing something with it, if I was putting a corset on over the top, or if I was putting a top on. But if I'm wearing it like this with just a bra, then I'll tend to tweak it up a little bit. I just feel like it on me, it gives a smoother line. It just depends on your personal preference. And again, if you have a shape that's less curvy, then you're going to be able to move it up and down further. And if you're more curvy, you might find that it will only sit on the natural waist, or that it will only sit under the bust. It just depends. On me, even if I hook it all the way up for a size 16, I end up with a knee length skirt, but I am 5'1", so you know, you might be different. This is the stuff that you need after that. This is called Rubber Shine. It's not provided with the latex, so when you get it, you will need to buy this from somewhere else. And you don't necessarily need a spray. There are also like roll-ons, and there are like kind of, when we did the photo shoot for the latex, I think we had the Pure stuff. Pure? I have no idea how you pronounce it. And that is a liquid. It's basically lube. So you kind of just smear it everywhere. But spray is often easier. The only downside to this is, firstly it feels cold when it goes on, so be warned. So there are a couple of problems with this. One is, if I was doing this on a hard floor, I'm doing it on a carpet so it's fine, but if I did it on a hard floor, then I would basically be spraying a slippy slidey lubricant onto a slippy slidey floor. And you can imagine that that causes accidents. So please don't do that. Please remember to put like a towel or a rug down or something. Please don't fall over and crack your head. That would be bad. Or like I say, you can use the roll-on stuff. The second thing is that this does rub off. Like, it won't do it immediately, but you can see, maybe you can see? I don't know. It's always hard to know what's showing up on camera. But as you touch it and as it rubs against other fabrics and stuff, you will find that the shine wears off a bit. So if you're going to a big event, which is unlikely in 2020, but I mean, next year, then you might want to take some extra spray or an extra tube of lube basically with you in your handbag or something, so that you can refresh it if you particularly like it to look very, very shiny. I also think that the metallic colours, so there's a metallic bubblegum pink in the Playful Promises Bettie Page range, and there is the option of metallic colours. I think we've got one metallic bright candy pink on the website. I can't remember at this point. I do think they tend to hold their shine a bit better just because they're a bit more inherently shimmery, and there are even glitter latexes and stuff, but for the most part you are looking at having to keep it shined. Now, getting out of it. Actually no, let's talk about wearing it first. Okay, firstly, it is sweaty. You need to know that. You're gonna sweat, and if you don't enjoy that or you really hate it, then please just don't buy latex, because there's nothing we can do about that. It is not a breathable fabric. It is also not a good insulator, so you are going to feel every temperature change. And on really bad days, when you walk out of a hot nightclub into a cold environment, you're going to get condensation on the inside of your skirt, which is one of the most unnerving sensations I've ever experienced. But I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't know. Tell me if you've ever had that happen. It also makes weird noises, as you've heard, and that will happen when you wear it as well. And if you buy a garment with arms, I can tell you that you will be able to make farty noises with your armpits. So, something to look forward to. So glamorous, as everything in fashion is. When you get home, you will need to wash it as fast as you can because of that whole sweat breaks down latex thing. So if you can possibly muster up the energy at the end of a night out, just rinse it immediately. Ideally put a little bit of detergent in there. It doesn't need much. It's actually very, very quick and simple. You literally just swoosh it about, turn the shower on cold, put it in that, something like that, and then just leave it to drip dry. The next day, once it's dry, cover it in talcum powder, roll it back up, put it in a plastic bag or in a box, and then put it in a dark space. Top of the wardrobe, bottom of the wardrobe, doesn't matter. And then you're fine, you're good to go. So it's actually not that intensive, but it just freaks people out if they haven't run across it before, or if the only time that they run across it is when they are a little bit chemically altered and forget to look after it properly. It is not kind to people who don't wash it when they get home. Anyway, have a look around at the latex ranges on the website and see which one takes your fancy. There's a couple of different ranges at the moment and several different colours, so hopefully there's something there for you.